Hello and welcome to May's Crochet. I am Rachel, and doing something a little weird this week, I decided to make a couple of frogs. One I made from a pattern written by a human being that I bought off Etsy. The other I made from a pattern I generated through AI. I want to see if you can tell which one's which. They're pretty close. It's going to be difficult. Hang on. Any guesses? Just take a second, see if you can figure it out. Think about it. Lock in your answer. If you think this piece of shit was generated by AI, oh, you'd be correct. Gold star. So what happened? Well, let's get into it. I opened Microsoft Word a couple of weeks ago. I'm not in Microsoft Word a lot, but it's like one of the oldest, most basic ass computer programs around. And I saw they had Copilot now, which is an AI program. And I'm like, really? Word? Okay. We have to accept AI is gonna be part of our lives. That's just where we're going from here. But I was like, could it generate a crochet pattern? And it did. I kind of breezed through it. I don't even remember what animal I put in, maybe a dog or something like that. So I didn't look too closely at it, but based off my knowledge of having done Amigurumi before, I went ahead and like, oh God, this can really actually do this. Didn't look too closely though. So I was like, well, what if I do a compare and contrast and I generate one myself and then I buy one actually made by a human being and we'll see how they turn out. So I didn't want just kind of the blob. And by that, I mean like the Amy pattern is just a sphere for the head, a sphere for the body, and then a few details in the facial features of the legs or the tail or whatever to make it what it is. I wanted something a little more complex. Originally, I was going to do a dragon, but I thought that would take way too long. So I decided to switch it up and make it a frog. So I looked around for a frog pattern and I did find one. So on Etsy, I found Yuki Yarn's Fritz the Frog pattern. And this was what I went off of when I put in the information to generate the crochet pattern in AI. This is fairly realistic looking as far as Amy goes because it's not just the blob. So then I was trying to think of how to word it. And I'm like, realistic frog with bendable legs and individual toes, much like Fritz has here, So that's what I was going off of. But what I got was so much worse. So this is what AI spit out. Just 2 pages of very basic instructions, no pictures, obviously. Materials, abbreviations. Funny enough, they put slip stitch under the abbreviations. Not once is a slip stitch used in the entire pattern. And then just a very basic pattern. It's embarrassing how bad it was. But here I am making it and going through it and being shocked at how horrible it ended up turning out. Okay, stupid AI frog first, rip off the Band-Aid, get it done. That's the plan. Here's this crap. I'm gonna use this green yarn that is left over from when I made my Sims Plum Bob plushie a couple weeks ago. I overbought, but that's okay. We're gonna knock it out today. Hopefully it's enough because this doesn't tell me how much I need because computers are stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very feral right now. I don't know what's going on. All right, so all it says, materials, worsted weight yarn in green, white, and a small amount of black, 3.5 millimeter hook. I think I may have actually put that in the prompt. I can't remember. That was a couple of days ago. Fiberfill, wire for the bendable legs. I did put bendable as part of it, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna do that or not. No, you know what? I'm gonna follow the instructions. Yes, 100% gonna follow the instructions. All right, yarn needle, scissors, stitch marker, and embroidery floss, optional for details. So the abbreviations are chain, single crochet, increase, decrease, slip stitch, stitch, and fasten off. And the pattern is head and body all together. So 3.5 millimeter hook, green yarn. Let's start. What are the chances this is gonna look good? Anybody? Any guesses? Comment down below before I finish. Oh, actually, you know what? The intro is gonna have it, so never mind. You already know what it looks like. So I'm done with the increases. It only goes up to 36. That's it. And the increase is in the same spot every time at the end of a section. So it's like single crochet increase on, the second round, 2 single crochets increase, 3 single crochets increase as the rounds go down. I don't like to do that because you start getting a hexagonal shape to it and then it ends up looking like it has wedges. I don't care for that look. So even if I buy a pattern and the pattern writer has done it that way, I will change it to put the increase in the middle every other row and then at the end on the opposite rows, so we don't get this pointy look. But now I'm just gonna keep working because I'm supposed to do this for another 6 rounds. I'm already on page 2 because this is as big as it's gonna get right here. And that's tiny. The other one's supposed to be like a foot long. Head and body. No, 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 no. This is not gonna look good. The legs are 7 rounds? No. Okay, I have to take a break. For, you know, real reasons like dinner and stuff, not because I'm pissed, but I'll finish this later tonight. This is gonna be a disaster. I did not, in fact, finish this later that same night, and it's been a couple of days. That's okay, we're gonna finish it up today. It's still so bad. I wondered, like, I went back and looked at the pattern. I was like, did I accidentally not make 2, like one for the head and one for the body and stack them? No, it doesn't say make 2, it just says head and body. And then there's nothing in the assembly instructions to sew them together. We're gonna get the legs knocked out, get this stupid thing assembled. Oh, I guess it needs eyes. Don't know why, it's gonna look stupid no matter what. Anyway, let's get this ridiculous piece of crap finished. All right, so the legs are just 6 into a magic ring, increase to 12, increase to 18, several rows of 18, decrease all the way down, and stuff with wire. I'm not gonna use good wire, I'm just gonna use crappy pipe cleaners because this is gonna be a disaster no matter what. So why use good stuff on it? I'm using crappy yarn I don't want, crappy pipe cleaners. Not putting forth all the effort because it doesn't deserve it. I am following the pattern, but I'm not putting forth any effort. So here's a leg. Oops, just one. Where does this even go? Well, that's dumb. And the instructions, legs. All the way down here, decrease, decrease, fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. Insert wire into the leg for stability and bendability. Nothing. Not a single syllable about stuffing the leg. With 18 stitches around, I'm just supposed to put wire in here and no stuffing. I'm just following the rules. I'm just doing what the computer overlords tell me to do. I mean, it's bendable. Okay. Technically, they're not wrong, except that it looks nothing like a leg. We need 4 toes per leg. It's just chaining 6 and then single crocheting 1 row into the 5 chains. And that's it. And then we sew them onto the legs. Okay, let's make some toes. Ugh. We have a frog toe to go on this super bendy leg. It's gonna look great. All right, 3 more. And we have 4 toes for this supposed foot. Let's put them on. Yep, this is a leg with 4 toes on it. Number 3, sew 4 toes to each leg. Technically, I've done that. Oh, this is actually so sad. I am so embarrassed for AI right now. It's gonna get even worse once I try to put these 4 things onto this little teeny tiny ball and call it a frog. To be continued. Okay, let's make some eyes for this monstrosity and then put it together and we'll be done. Just for it to go in the trash, pretty much. So the eyes are super simple. It is magic ring, 6 single crochets, increase to 12 on the second round, and done. Also, embroider a small pupil in the center of each eye using black yarn. I'm gonna do something a little different. I will take creative liberties with that one because it'll be fitting, but that's it. Everything else I followed directly on the page. Got 1, and now we have 2. Let's put some pupils on and then assemble this Frankenstein's monster of a frog. Actually, I said I wasn't gonna do pupils. That's far more fitting, don't you think? Yeah, we're gonna go with that. So another thing about this pattern is that it doesn't say where to put anything. A human would have been like, place the eyes between rows this and this, so many stitches apart. AI's like, nah, you figure it out. You know what a frog looks like, right? Anyway, same thing with the legs. It just says sew the legs to the sides of the body, ensuring they are evenly spaced and symmetrical. I don't even know how to position these on here. Why did it go up to 18 stitches around? That's what I don't understand. Why? It's so big. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sitting here acting like it even matters. Like this is going to be a gift, and I don't want to be embarrassed that it's bad and uneven. It's not. I don't hate anybody this much, I don't think. And this is what a computer thinks a crocheted frog should look like. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't put forth much effort in getting these legs on and in any kind of even positioning, because it's just not worth my time or effort at this point. It wasn't really worth my time and effort in the first place, but now it really has proven itself to be hideous. And I'm like, it's going to be awful no matter what I do, so why bother? So this is a frog, you know, assuming you've literally never seen a frog before in your life. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my God. Well, that's AI for you. So maybe I screwed myself over with the realistic frog portion of the command to generate the AI. Well, I checked and I simply put in crochet amigurumi frog. That was it. No realistic, no bendable legs, nothing. It gave me almost the exact same thing, only the legs were only up to 12 stitches around and there were no toes, and it did want me to actually stuff the legs. That's it. It was still just the head, the little circles, and that's all it gave me. That's all it had. And then I was like, well, maybe it's just this Copilot part of Microsoft Word. Maybe I can find it somewhere else better. So I checked on the internet. I found another program. I don't remember what it was. I was not going to input any personal information, so it had to be free and just generate without any kind of login or account or anything. It gave me the exact same thing. So then I'm like, well, what if I just like put in a cat, you know? Maybe I'll just do a cat. Let's try that out. It was the basic blob, the head, the body, and then it was like legs, make 4. Cool. Arms, make 2. I don't know about y'all, but I see 4 legs, no arms. Right, buddy? This is a cat. AI could never. Okay, I'll let you go. Thank you for your service. So I was ready to come on here and just rail and have this huge speech about how AI is taking away from artists, which, yes, is true. Don't get me wrong. But in this instance, I can't help but laugh how horrible this turned out. It's beyond my wildest dreams. It's so awful. And I understand it's an isolated incident, but I'm just not that worried about AI and crochet patterns right now. So that's all I have for this week. It was a roller coaster. I don't even know what to say. Be vigilant out there when you're looking at stuff, looking at patterns. Know when to spot things. So obviously you wouldn't know if you got an AI generated pattern until after you spent your money, and then there's no returns on PDFs when people sell patterns on like Etsy and Ravelry and stuff. So that's kind of a gamble, I'm afraid. However, if there are pictures, they're usually pretty easy to spot. They look too good to be real because they're not. And I've noticed that the item is usually just in one position and one very bland background. You won't see it in any other context, and there's not a lot of pictures. Also check around in the shop if you're purchasing off of like Etsy or Ravelry. Check around in the shop to see what else they have. This one that I came across, it was like 4 or 5 different reptiles. They also had in the shop random dress patterns and then a chart for like acid reflux, something other. None of it made sense in one shop together. And I would post it here, but when I went to look for it again, it's been taken down. So that's good. Constant vigilance. That's just keep that in mind when you're out there looking at this stuff, because it's very possible to scam people with something like this, which is sad. Unfortunately, that's just the way things are headed. So be careful. Don't rely on AI to generate your patterns if you can't afford them. There's plenty of free stuff out there from real people who spent a lot of time making their patterns. No, this one was not free. This one I paid for, but he's so cute. He's so cute. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at that. That is really cute. It was a lot of hard work too. This was not hard work. Thank you so much for joining me and putting up with my idiocy as I made this literal trash. I think he's going in the trash. I will probably cut him open and take his stuffing back out, and then he's going in the trash. Anyway, that's enough of that. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.